Inuarata Nosahai, Istima Amiebone, and I especially welcome you to this segment of the program. Now, as long as the earth remaineth, the conversation on leadership will continue. It is a never-ending conversation, and that is why we have been on the series on the topic, different leadership styles and their impact on workplace dynamics. And this morning, we are going to look at a very unique angle to it, which we actually started last week. This is the last Wednesday of the month of July 2026. Is the 29th day of July 2026, and the focus on this major topic, which is different leadership styles and their impact on workplace dynamics. The focus today is effective policing with coercive and affiliative leadership styles. Effective policing with coercive and affiliative leadership style. In other words, how can the police force, the police institution engage these different leadership styles, to drive productivity and team effectiveness in their institution, and we are going to use a case scenario perspective to look at it as we have been doing. Effective policing with coercive and affiliative leadership styles. Coercive leadership style is that do as I say model of leadership approach. It is do as I say. It's a command and control style of leadership, and it is very useful when it comes to resolving crisis, managing emergency. It is very useful when it comes to handling matters of serious discipline. And the downside of it is that when you overuse it, people may feel micromanaged. They may feel that you are overbearing on them, and that can lead to team discouragement that can make them to just start lagging behind. But it is very useful, very important in managing emergency, resolving matters of indiscipline, making sure that crises are quickly resolved. Then the affiliative style focus on building team harmony. It focus on building the relationship. The affiliative style is a people come first leadership attitude template or model, and it just ensures that there is team harmony, there is trust, for one another, and then the team has fluid collaboration. Like I said, the case scenario we are looking at this morning is effective policing with coercive and affiliative leadership style, which I have just explained, the coercive and affiliative leadership style. We are going to see how a police area commander engage the coercive and affiliative leadership style, to manage a team issue in his command, in the area command where, he, oversee. And it is very important we take, look at it. The knowledge we are going to glean from this case scenario is very useful across board in different leadership sphere. And for those of you that are police officers, paramilitary and the likes, just pay close attention. There is a lot for you to take away from this case scenario in driving team effectiveness and leadership productivity. Effective policing with coercive and affiliative leadership styles. A newly posted police area commander assumed duty in an area command facing a disturbing security challenge. Within a few weeks, reports revealed that some officers were frequently absent from their assigned duty posts. Response to emergency calls was slow, and allegations of unprofessional conduct were damaging public confidence. Intelligence also suggested that criminal groups were taking advantage of these operational weaknesses to carry out robberies and violent attacks. Now, this is where the area commander brought in the coercive leadership style, which is the do as I say kind of leadership model for resolving crises and managing matters of serious indiscipline. Recognizing the urgency of the situation, the area commander initially adopted the coercive leadership style. A firm directive was issued that every officer must report promptly for duty, comply strictly with operational procedures, and maintain professional conduct at all times. Supervisors were instructed to carry out daily inspections, while absenteeism, negligence, and misconduct attracted immediate disciplinary measures in accordance with established police regulations. Emergency patrol schedules were reorganized, and officers were informed that failure to perform assigned responsibility would have serious consequences. That is applying the coercive leadership style, the do as I say leadership model and template for resolving crises, managing matters of serious indiscipline, and being able to use that to make sure that ugly situations are arrested, just like the area commander in this particular police command did. Within a short period, discipline improved, patrol visibility increased, and response times became faster. That is the coercive leadership style, helping to manage and resolve the situation. Now, after applying the coercive leadership style, the area commander in this particular police command moved into the affiliative leadership style, which is the leadership style that ensures there is team harmony, there is trust, which ensures that, people's well-being and people's emotional, psychological safety is seriously taken into consideration and, well managed. After stability had been restored, the area commander realized that discipline alone would not sustain long-term performance. The commander therefore introduced the affiliative leadership style to rebuild trust and strengthen teamwork. Regular meetings were held where officers were encouraged to express concerns affecting their welfare and operational effectiveness. Outstanding performances were publicly acknowledged, while officers who had demonstrated commitment during the difficult period received commendation. Team building activities and mentoring sessions were also organized to improve relationships among personnel and reinforce a shared commitment to professional policing. That is bringing in the affiliative leadership style to balance what the coercive leadership style have achieved, and then be able to ensure fluid collaboration in the team. And the affiliative leadership style is focused on building team harmony, making sure that the welfare of team members are looked into in order to give them that sense of belonging to be able to be committed to the success of the team. And that is exactly what the police area commander in this command did in this case scenario. The combination of firm discipline and genuine concern for officers' well-being transformed the atmosphere within the area command. Morale improved, cooperation among divisions became stronger, and officers became more committed to serving the public professionally. Community confidence also increased as residents observed a more disciplined, responsive, and united police response. The experience demonstrated that while coercive leadership can restore order during periods of crisis, very important, affiliative leadership helps sustain performance by building trust, loyalty, and teamwork after stability has been achieved. Now, what are the two leadership lessons we can glean from this case scenario, from this particular area commander? Leadership lessons from the case scenario. One, effective leaders know when to be firm and when to be compassionate. Very important in leadership. Effective leaders, they know when to be firm, just like the area commander did in this case scenario when he assumed duty in this particular area command, and then they also know when to be compassionate in order to balance the leadership style, because in leadership there is no one size fits it all. You should know when to transit from a particular leadership style, having achieved the goal of that particular leadership style, to another leadership style, to ensure that you don't become a dictator, you are not seen as overbearing, you are not seen as micromanaging, and then be able to ensure team effectiveness and team collaboration. Effective leaders know when to be firm and when to be compassionate. During period of crisis, indiscipline or operational failure, decisive action and strict enforcement of standards are essential to restore order and protect organizational integrity. However, once stability is achieved, leaders must deliberately shift toward building trust, strengthening relationships, and supporting the well-being of their people, just like the area commander did in this case scenario. This balanced approach not only improves immediate performance, but also fosters long-term commitment, loyalty, and professionalism in the police force and other organizations. Very important. Effective leaders know when to be firm and when to be compassionate. The second leadership lesson from this case scenario, as I begin to conclude, leadership discipline drives compliance, but relationships sustain performance. Discipline drives compliance, but relationships sustain performance. Leaders who combine high standards with genuine concern for their people create resilient, motivated, and high-performing team members. I will read that again. Discipline drives compliance, but relationships sustain performance. Discipline drives compliance, but relationships sustain performance. Don't only just be a leader that just come to enforce discipline. Also know how to connect with your people, and that will make them to be better committed. Leaders who combine high standards with genuine concern for their people create resilient, motivated, and high-performing teams. I believe that profound value has been added to you today. The case scenario we have looked at is effective policing with coercive and affiliative leadership style. Coercive leadership style focuses on ensuring that a crisis are quickly managed, they are resolved. It is a do as I say command style of leadership. The affiliative leadership style focuses on team harmony, trust, integrity, and fluid collaboration in the team. And your ability to know when to transit from one leadership style to another makes you an effective leader. I know you want to reach me. Just send email across, that mail across to my email, inuagata@gmail.com. Send your inquiries, send your questions, provide answers to you, and then we build a better leadership society for ourselves. I'll be seeing you next week, Wednesday. And when I return, I will say, be the amiable Inuagata no Sahai. Your day is so blessed. Thank you.